Hey everybody.
Hey family.
Hope you guys are doing well. This is Let's Stay Married Together. And we wanted to take this opportunity to have a little conversation with you about fighting fair.
Fighting, brawling.
Not brawling, no. We don't want anybody
Heated
brawling.
fellowship.
Whether you call it fighting, heated fellowship, intense conversation,
Disagreement.
whatever you want to call it, it is something that happens in every healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
And it's a part of growing. You will learn the most, not only about yourself, but about your mate when you have arguments. If we're going to call it that. But listen, there is a way to do it and do it fairly.
And in our 25 years of marriage, we have had our moments. Amen. We've had our moments, and we've learned some things because ultimately you want to have those types of disagreements in a way that does not do lasting damage to your relationship. You want to make sure that you have clear lines in place as to what you're not going to say, what things are off limits, what word usage you're not going to use, so that when you are filled with emotion or anger, you're not scarring one another. And no good military plans their strategy in the middle of the war. By the time you get there, it's too late. You want to, while things are peaceful, while you and your mate is in a good place, you want to sit down to the table, get a pen and a paper, an iPad or whatever, and jot down, this is the line that we are not crossing.
Absolutely. Because no one can hurt you like the person that loves you the most. I know what to do to push his buttons, just like he knows what to do to push mine. And it takes discipline to not use those things when you're trying to come at each other, or if in your mind all you're trying to do is win an argument.
Right. Because the goal is about having understanding and getting past this hurdle. You may have to take time to discuss, even if you need a time to cool off, how much time is too long. A day, 2 days, however long. You may decide as a couple that no matter how heated things get, we're not going to sleep in separate rooms or separate beds. Whatever it is that works for you, you want to make sure that you have those rules in place and you stick to them, because sometimes when you let too much time go, you've lost the reason why you're having the discussion in the first place. There's so much resentment and so much anger that has set in that time. You want to make sure that you can resolve things in a healthy time period.
Absolutely. And listen, really, we want you to write those things down.
Absolutely.
Because when you write them down and you share it, it becomes that place that you can be accountable to one another. And you can call each other on the carpet. For example, early on in our marriage, we realized that we were both sarcastic.
Who knew?
Who knew? So we had to decide that for us, we literally had to put on our document that, you know what, no sarcasm. You know why?
It was hard, y'all.
But it was and we had to, and we would call each other, be like, was that sarcasm? But you know what? Whatever that thing is, and you have to actually take the time to even communicate with each other those things that make you shut down. If my personality is I'm yelling, but if yelling shuts him down until he doesn't want to communicate with me, then that needs to be on our list of fighting fair. You know what? You can't be yelling like that because it shuts me down. It's not productive for us to communicate. So honestly, don't leave anything off that list. If you say, no throwing stuff, you can't leave the house and stay out all night. Like, we still have to be under the same roof, or we still have to sleep in the same bed. Whatever you guys decide, talk it over some ice cream or some popcorn where you can laugh and be productive, so that when the time comes that you are having those disagreements, you both have this template to go back to and say, you know what, there's a better way for us to do this and end in love and understanding.
And it's also important to know when you do need outside help.
Absolutely.
And outside help doesn't necessarily mean a professional counselor or anything like that. It could include that, but it may just be a friend, a family member, or someone. Know who you can talk to. And remember this: whenever you have an argument or disagreement, unless you are in physical harm, good friends send you back home.
Go home.
That friend that tells you you don't have to deal with that, you can stay here as long as you want, that's not your friend.
Right.
If I gotta stay and deal with the issues of my marriage, you gotta go home and deal with yours. That's what friends tell each other.
Right.
You have to go home and work it out. And anyone that seeks to divide your household is not your friend. Like I said, other than times where you are in physical danger or something like that, it's a different story. But when you're just having the difficulties that happen in a normal marriage, arguments, disagreements, anger, look, talk to who you need to talk to. But when you're done talking, go home.
Go home.
You gotta go home and you gotta fix it and work it out.
That's
Because
right.
again, like we said at the top of this, you will have arguments, you will have disagreements and things like that. But ultimately, we never want to do or say anything that injures or scars the person that we love. That is so important. And you have to come together and have those conversations. Those of us that are sports fans, you know, when your team is down, you got to huddle.
That's
You got to have the conversation. No good team, when they're losing, disperses.
right.
Because you can never get a strategy, and you can never determine why and where you're losing if you don't huddle. So you have to get beyond yourself, get beyond your own flesh and emotions, and when you're calm enough to do so, have the right conversation to get to a place where you learn from this argument or whatever it is. You learn, you build, and you grow from it. These are the things that tend to life and longevity in your marriage.
Absolutely.
So this is just another nugget. Hopefully it was helpful to someone, and we want to do that in such a way where we can work together and learn to stay married together. Peace. Hope this helps, guys. Again, send us your feedback, comments, emails, and let us know
We want your questions.
And again, hopefully this is something that we have said that's beneficial to you. You can take and make your own list and make it happen.
Yeah,
and
make
your
it happen,
marriage
guys.
last.
Don't
Peace.
be punching them though. Don't be punching them.
No swinging. No swinging. None of that. No
God bless
cops.
you.
None of that stuff. We're not going there.
No running around the yard in your
Right.
underwear because you throwing stuff. None of that.
None of that. Your
None of
neighbors
that.
see you. All right, guys. God bless.
Bye.